Podgram.
You just see you're on fire today.
Sitting here in the dark, I realized I didn't turn the lights on.
The Podgram with Tom and Christy.
It's sad that this is the world that we live in.
Here, let me stop and tie my shoe right in front of you so you can't drive.
The Podgram.
All of a sudden, I hear...
Well, I don't really care.
Join the conversation. 855-PODGRAM.
You bust your ass.
Yeah.
The Podgram with Tom and Christy starts now.
9 o'clock on the button right here on the Podgram. Welcome to Tuesday, I guess it is, because we weren't here yesterday because, I think Spectrum kind of bent us over a table yesterday. And so we weren't here yesterday, but we're here today. And I'll tell you, look who else is here today is my beautiful good friend, Christy.
Good morning.
Oh, how are you today? I like the little wave thing you got going on there. That's great. Nobody saw me because I was doing it too.
That was my queen wave.
Oh, right, because you're watching The Crown.
Yes. No, I'm done because I binge watched the first 2 seasons, and if I start to watch it again, I'll watch the first 2 seasons again. So
is that all there is 2 seasons?
So far, yes.
Yeah, so you binged it all up. It's gone.
And that's 20 hours of my life.
Yeah, that's how I do a bag of chips. Why put them down when there's still chips in it?
Why bother?
That's right.
Because the kids will just crush them into the carpet anyway. So
my kids have a philosophy about food. I better eat as much as I think I'll ever want now before anybody else has a chance to have any. That's the philosophy.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Because here's the thing. Melanie can make something and put it on the stove to let it cool down. And and then it's gone. It's gone. Drives me insane.
We made no-bake chocolate cookies, like the chocolate oatmeal cookies.
Yeah. Dano, wait a minute. I got to stop there. Dano is in the live chat. I know. Where's he been hiding?
I'm so glad.
I know. It's crazy. I miss Dano. He's my buddy.
Yeah.
I know. He's cool. All right. Thanks for hanging out, Dano.
So I forgot what I was saying. Never mind.
No bake cookies.
Oh, yeah.
See, a fat guy's not going to forget that.
Oh, God, no. So we made we used to call them not puppy chow. Those aren't puppy chow because those are the ones with... the Chex Mix stuff that has
yeah.
These are the oatmeal ones that are covered in chocolate, and it's just chocolate and oatmeal, basically, and peanut butter. Oh, and peanut butter. Can't forget the peanut butter.
In the world of salty, like burgers and sandwiches, bacon makes everything better.
Yeah.
In the world of desserts, peanut butter makes everything better. Hey, welcome to the Podgram.
Hi, 15th time caller. I don't know what I'm talking about.
Oh, we missed you.
Oh, we did miss you, man. What's up with that? Where you been? Did you go to some monk thing?
Yeah, I did. I am. I'm actually a Buddhist monk. No, what's the one Kwai Chang Caine was? Shaolin monk.
Not Mormons.
That's what it was. Do you remember that?
No.
Kung Fu, the show?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, dude, best show ever.
So you're dating yourself now.
Kind of.
Do you know what we were going through? Was it Hulu, maybe? And Hulu, or maybe it was Scamazon. I don't know. One of the two of them, I think it was Hulu, have added classic TV shows.
Really?
So we're scrolling through.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, and my wife says, Brady Bunch. Now, my wife is not old enough to have watched the Brady Bunch.
What?
Well, I mean, she might have seen it in the syndication.
Right, okay.
Because, look, my sister, I'm not really old enough to have watched the Brady Bunch, and I'm almost 50. I did.
I thought it was the 70s, right?
It was the 70s. I'd have been like a little kid.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, for those who don't know, I robbed the cradle on my wife. She's barely 40.
No kidding.
Yeah.
You really did.
What
were you stalking the playground?
Yeah. Some candy little girl. I don't know how I pulled that off. I have no idea.
She stole him.
She's awesome.
Well, he used to have that. You know, he's got all those vehicles all over the place. He used to have a van that said free candy on the side of it. And,
I did have a raper van one time.
You know,
That's
Evan has a joke, and it's kind of appropriate, but it says, you know, years ago it used to say free candy. Now it says free Wi-Fi.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, that makes sense.
It's funny. My wife and I were looking for a vehicle. It is funny. It's funny. My wife and I were looking for a vehicle years ago. I mean, right after we got married, and we had a baby on the way. And I'm a proponent of conversion vans. I like the big full-size conversion vans because it's like taking your living room down the highway. I mean, how much better can that be, right?
Yeah, I know somebody that had one back in the day, and it was brand new. The thing was like a freaking. It's like a camper, but it's smaller, right?
Right. Well, this thing is it's like 7 seats, and there's a TV, and there's everybody has a headphone jack and a drink tray. It's like riding it's like an airplane without wings.
Oh, it is. It's great.
Oh, yeah, pretty much. Yeah, the big captain's chairs in them and everything.
Yeah. And so I had one not too long, a few years back. My license plate was Cap'n Dad, airline captain type thing.
Nice.
It's like, and as we ride down the road, I get on the PA. It's like, and on the right, we're passing over Bobby's house right now. And so we looked at a conversion van early on in our marriage, and she says, you know what? I just don't think I'm old enough for that yet. But now she wants another, because after driving a clowning country, she misses the conversion. Now, the conversion van gets 12 miles per gallon downhill on a windy day with a sail on the roof.
Yeah,
absolutely.
But man,
passes everything but a gas station.
Well, it's no
they
worse.
Have everything, man.
It's no worse than a Suburban.
They always have the fancy lights in the inside.
Oh yeah,
like a limo.
Oh yeah. The mood lights.
And driving them really was like they needed a pilot's license because it actually felt like that. And that chair and everything, like you were driving it.
I gotta tell you.
Tell me.
Tammy El Sante.
Tammy El Sante Belgrande.
So Tammy and her husband had a conversion van, and it was beautiful, absolutely beautiful. And they lent it to her uncle to go to Virginia to go see a relative.
And he opened a seamless gutter business out of it.
No, it
drywall
either caught fire or the engine died or something while they were in Virginia.
Oh, let me tell you about that. They look great.
Killed it.
They look great on the parts you can see. Now, I bought one.
Killed it.
Yeah, I bought one for cheap.
And Bill is still not over it.
Yeah.
They are still heartbroken because these conversion vans are so nice.
Yeah.
The kids miss it. But Tammy is, of course, they had to replace the car, right?
Yeah.
Because now they're down a vehicle.
Yeah.
And, it's so hard because Tammy and I are on the same page, right?
Yeah.
Neither she or I, it's like a death sentence. Once you're in a minivan, you don't get out.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, Dano, are you okay? Are you making popcorn over there? What are you doing?
I think you dropped the phone.
I think you might have. It's in the dryer now. Anyway, but I've seen behind the walls because I bought this conversion van, beautiful thing, very low miles. It had been there's a story that goes with it, but the point is that when I took it apart to clean it, all the wiring behind the walls was like duct taped together, and the upfitters did a really, really poor job because they knew nobody was going to see it, so it didn't matter. And there is no code for that crap. It's just some dude with some Scotch locks and some tape. But they didn't even use electrical tape. They terminated everything off with duct tape. And which I thought was kind of odd.
Well, that's not flammable or anything.
Yeah, well, the wiring was atrocious anyway, so it's a wonder it didn't catch on fire from that. But in any case, yeah, so we sold the thing, and I still see it running around from time to time.
And your van was nice.
It was. I took it to the fire station and it was nasty when I got. I'll tell the backstory. It belonged to this guy locally, and he died. Now, I think he might have lived in it.
So he might have died in it as well.
Well, he might have. But I've got Exhibit A van out there now that's full of probably DNA too. So I've got these vehicles that people die in. And I don't know. I told the story about the B2 van out there. Anyway, yeah, he might have because his daughter had inherited it, after, I guess, he creamed a mailbox with it. Now, I don't think that's what. I don't think he didn't die in the accident or anything. It just broke up the headlights and the grill, and that kind. So she's driving it around. She works at the spay and neuter clinic, and she's driving back and forth hauling animals in it. So she took the captain's chairs out of it, and it had been sitting at my buddy's shop for like a year, just sitting there. And I asked him about it. He says, "Yeah, she's probably going to want $7,000 or $8,000." I'm like, "Man, I'll give you $700 or $800 for that thing, the shape it's in." And as luck would have it, one day I just happened to be there, and she was there. And this is back during the Cash for Clunkers thing.
Oh,
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And
Okay,
yeah. And she had the idea that she was going to trade it in with the Cash for Clunkers. And I said, well, here's the flaw. Here's the fly in the ointment. It must have been registered and driven, insured and registered for a year prior to trade-in date. It's been sitting down here for 2 years.
Right.
So it doesn't qualify. So she says, well, I'll take about, $3,500 for it, the way it sits. And I said, I'll give you $1,500 for it, max. Now, it only had 114,000 miles on it, blah, 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 whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So she's like, I could never take that. I was like, here's my business card. When you get tired of leaving it sit here, you give me a call and let me know. I wasn't back to my truck yet, and she had backed up. She says, is that cash money? I said, yep. Sold. And I have the middle row seats for it. So we went over. They were in a barn somewhere. They chicken all crap all over. So I rounded this thing up, and I drove it home. No front end on. I mean, like the grill and the headlights and the turn signals were gone. The inside was just atrocious. And I pulled. The other problem it had was the battery would go dead overnight.
Oh.
So I pulled this in the yard. Look, honey, what I bought today. And Melanie came out, and she stuck her head in the front door, and she says, I don't know who the hell you think's going to ride in here with you, but it's not going to be me. So I took it to the fire station and completely stripped the inside of it down to the walls. Steam cleaned everything, put it all back together, and it was like a brand new van. Then she was about it. Ooh, that's nice.
Ooh,
nice.
Where'd you get this? And what'd you do with that other piece of crap?
And it came with all the front end pieces to put it back together. So I put it all back together and got it. And then I found out, I walked out after dark, and the glove box light was on. That's why the battery was going dead overnight. So I just pulled the bulb out. Never had a problem again. Appreciate it. Use good people. And
Gina's here, looks like.
Yes, Gina Jeffrey. Woo! And then
Yay!
and then baby G, or better known as Emily, is here.
Emily.
Yeah, Dano's our official live chat room watcher this morning.
Yeah, check it out, man. I am. I'm like the, I don't know what that is. But,
moderator.
Yeah.
Right. The problem is I got my brain's going like a million miles a minute all the time, so I'm always paying attention to everything. That's what it is.
Yeah. See, mine's going a million miles a minute, but I'm not paying attention to anything. So then she likes the van after that. And we drove it. We went to Boston with it. We went here. We went there and everything else. Beach with it. It was a great beacher. It was cool. Well, then she decided, because she's like, wow, 12 miles per gallon kind of sucks. So let's get it. So we got a Chrysler Clown and Country. Now, there's a funny story that goes with that, too. Something happened. We were out looking at vans that we found on Craigslist, because we weren't doing Hate Book at the time. Or maybe we were, but there weren't like groups or whatever. So we're out looking at vans, and we come across this guy who's got, the one that we actually bought, and he wants like $5,000 for it. It's not, come on. So anyway, but she somehow, from the time we negotiated a deal, I bought it for like $2,500. We negotiated a deal, went to find a notary. And when we came back, something had happened. She had some kind of a stomach virus that was like instant onset. And she was like green and throwing up in this man's front yard, leaning against a tree, blah, off the front porch, blah, into the hedges. And they're like, oh, hun, would you like some Gatorade? Something. So we bought it. And I said, dude, I'm going to have to come back, a couple days and pick it up, because I don't think she's in any condition to drive it home right now. So then she drove that for a while. She's like, wow, I sure do miss the space that we had in the big conversion. And she says, and the gas mileage is only like 16 in the minivan. So we're not really gaining anything by, I said, no. See, so now she's all about another conversion van. And she wants one that, I think this time instead of a Chevy, we do like a Ford E150. Because I like them better.
Do they even make them anymore, or you'd buy a used one?
You have to. They do make them, but you have to special order them through an upfitter.
Isn't it the Econoline
I haven't
vans?
seen one, and I don't know how long that's new anyway.
Yeah, Ford has Econoline. Ford discontinued the Econoline van, I do believe, though. So there's no more Ford converted, but GM, Chevy and GMC still make their full size van. And so
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, so if you want a new conversion, it's got to be a GM product.
Yeah,
and they are high dollar, man. Freaking dollar.
I'll bet it's super expensive.
But I look at these people, these soccer moms that have these Suburbans, these great big gas guzzling Suburbans. They're not as comfortable as a conversion van, and you can fit the same number of people in them.
And Chrysler's trying to get in the market.
Safety. I think safety is an issue because kids are, I don't know the word I'm looking for, a-holes. Yeah. And they won't wear the seatbelts in a van like that. They'll run all over the place, and then they'll end up,
in the windshield,
in the front seat.
Yeah.
Right, or in the windshield or on the dash or something.
You know what the greatest thing is,
my
though?
sister-in-law got a ticket. My sister-in-law wound up with a ticket for unrestrained passengers because her kids got out of their seatbelts. And, oh, Lord.
See, I remember growing up, they could have given it crap if he wore a seatbelt. The next door neighbor kid used to stand up in the front passenger seat of his mom's Volkswagen.
Yeah.
That's how he
rode.
rode.
I used to sleep in my mom's lap on the way home. Nope.
Go ahead, Dano.
We used to ride in the back of my dad's pickup with the little, just the aluminum little cap on the back and stuff.
Yeah, all
and these little midget lawn chairs, man. We'd sit there, facing the back and stuff, and we'd take trips and stuff like that.
Down the highway
behind us and stuff. It was normal.
Yeah.
But back then, people didn't really worry if their kids died or anything. They just they'd be like, "Hey, I got another one," or whatever.
We'll just make more, No, but
right.
But if you look back, I used to ride in the bed of the open bed of a pickup down the highway. There's nothing wrong with that, But now, and if you look at fatalities on the highway. Mm-hmm. I don't think people in the back of the pickup truck makes up the lion's share of, I don't think it was not that big of a deal. Now, the big thing about the high top conversions that you hear all the criers talking about, they've cut the roof out of this thing and now it's got a fiberglass top on it. That's not safe. If that flips over, blah, 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 blah. Look, driving isn't safe at all. It doesn't matter what you're driving. Doesn't matter what you're driving.
Do you remember the Subaru Brat?
Yes.
They had the little seats in the back. Those things were cool, man.
Little jump seats that face
honestly,
backwards.
if I could find one, I'd buy one, right? You know what I mean? I would, because they're so cool, man. I don't know how legal they are, but they had seatbelts and everything. They had
that's factory. You can ride it. Now, here's where you look for one of those. You come down here because stuff don't rust here.
Exactly.
But you know what is safe? It's safe to say that it's 1:15.
Well, it is, and I'm getting there. I'm getting there. But since you brought it up, I might as well.
The Podgram with Tom and Christy. Join the conversation. 855-PODGRAM.
Don't know what I would do without Christy to keep me on task. It's funny, I was telling her the other day that when I was unable to get up and do the show, I was like, damn it, I'm going to get fired. Because I don't know, she's intimidating. She's like taking over the role of the program director here, and I'm just the morning guy. She gives me that one eyebrow look thing. Dwayne.
I have to comment on the stash.
Okay, go ahead.
Go ahead.
The new stash.
The new stash. Oh, okay, go ahead.
What new stash?
I'm just saying the new stash, man. That's all I'm saying.
I see. What?
I didn't mean to give you some dead air right there for a second, man. I mean, that's what I'm commenting.
We just blew off 30 listeners because of that.
The new stash. What's the story on that?
I've been watching Hell on Wheels. Did you watch Hell on Wheels?
No, I haven't, man.
Okay. It's a story of it takes place in the 1870s, 1880s, where they're building the Transcontinental Railroad.
Yeah, I know the show, I think, but I've never watched it.
Well, I've been watching it, and there's a couple people that have the stash thing, and I just needed something different. I just wanted something different. Awesome. So I thought. So what's funny is that my wife, before we got married, and this happened again last week, I had a full beard when we met, and she says, "You got to shave it one time so I can see what I'm marrying." Right? And I swear, no lie, I shaved it off. She took one look and said, "All right, good, grow it back now."
don't ever shave it off again.
Right. And so the other day I show up. She didn't say anything for like a day and a half after I did this.
That's fun.
And she just was being like rude to me. Like very short, not rude, but just very short, just very roll your eyes, very don't speak to me kind of thing. And when
my girl's in all Joe Dirt.
Yeah, and when I finally said, "Look, you need to grow that shit back." I don't know what you're thinking, but this ain't the you're not Sam Elliott. I don't know what you're thinking. You've been watching.
See, apparently, I am very facially expressive.
No, not you.
And my kids know how much trouble they're in based upon the eyebrows.
Yeah.
Because there's the, what did you do?
Yeah.
And then there's the, what did you do?
Yeah.
If you get one eyebrow, fairly certain you're going to live. You might be missing some stuff, maybe a body part, but you're going to live.
Yeah.
Both eyebrows, yeah, you might need some suitcases or handcuffs.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm going to try to orchestrate something so nobody knows what I did.
Okay.
But I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do. Let's just see if I can pull it off.
Okay.
I got to turn the air conditioner down and turn the fan on, but it's over there. And so
I think you can make it.
So what I'm going to do is, just between the three of us, what I'm going to do is,
since it's just us.
This is just us. We got this Dolly Parton video that lasts 50 seconds.
Okay.
And so I'm going to start that.
Okay.
And I'm going to unplug myself and make a mad dash for the switches over there.
Well, I can segue it.
Don't hurt yourself.
Well, but the thing is, if I'm not back in time, then the video will be stuck on the screen, and that's all people will see. So I think I can do it because I worked in radio. I can smoke a cigarette in 2.5 minutes. You
can make it to the bathroom down the hall and back in 2.5 minutes.
They call that hot boxing, don't they? That's what we called it as kids when we smoked in the school bathrooms.
Yes, and I can go to the bathroom and do the paperwork in 2.5 minutes. So I'm just saying. So let's set this up. So many celebrities right now are speaking out politically, and in most cases, like Rosie O'Donnell or Madonna or Bruce Springsteen. Jeff Goen is ripping out the power. Oh, last time I said that Jeff was here, he's like, dude, don't say anything to me. Your mom could be listening. Jeff is a friend of the family since day one when he was born. He's my brother's best friend. He's a good buddy to me. I need to go see him. I saw him a couple weeks ago. But anyway, so Dolly Parton has her own...
I tweeted the video, so if you miss it, you can always catch it on our Twitter feed.
Yeah, but all these celebrities seem to have some kind of now they're political commentary experts, and they,
everybody is these days.
So Dolly Parton. Let me set this up and get ready to make this happen here. So Dolly,
mad dash.
Yeah, mad dash for the air conditioner. Oh my God, I'm fat. I'm sweaty. Oh yeah, I got to turn all the Okay, hang on.
Mine's on.
Yeah. So anyway, this is how Dolly Parton feels about political comment. What are you doing?
Remote control.
What are you doing? All right, let's just watch the video. Okay, are we ready? And Dano, I guess you'll be able to hear it. Where's my mouse? Come on. All right, here we go.
Keep your damn mouth shut if you want to stay in show business. I'm not in politics. I'm an entertainer. Yes, I am. That's why I don't talk about it. I'm not being political. I don't do politics. I'm not getting into any of that because I have a lot of fans out there and I don't want to offend anybody. And besides, I just don't get into that. And so if you are deciding you may want to ask me something more serious, don't, because I'm not going to answer it.
We have a president of the United States who said those things on that bus.
I'm not addressing that. I do not get into that. Of course, I have my opinion about everybody and everything. But I learned a long time ago, keep your damn mouth shut if you want to stay in show business. I'm not in politics. I'm an entertainer.
And yet, you're also a role model.
Yes, I am. That's why I don't talk about people.
Podgram with Tom and Christy. Join the conversation. 855-PODGRAM.
Well, I think I was able to actually somewhat effectively pull that off because I'm back and plugged in before, it all happened. So there you go. So right now, it's 24 after, and I'm here. Christy is here, and Dano is here on the air with us. So, woohoo! Over in the live chat on Facebook, we've got Emily, we got Gina Jeffrey, we got Dano there. He's double timing it today, and Jeff Goen is hanging out with us, so we appreciate all that, guys.
So the
hold on, let me go back and talk about Dolly for a second because we watched the video.
That's what I'm talking about.
But the one line that was the greatest line in the whole thing was, "I'm an entertainer."
Yes.
I'm an That's what these people are. They're entertainers. Nobody should take them seriously.
She said, "Of course, I have an opinion about everyone and everything."
Who doesn't?
But I've learned over time.
Keep your mouth shut.
Keep your mouth shut.
Opinions are like assholes. Everybody's got one. Right, Dano? Am I right?
Nobody needs another.
Did I lose Dano?
I had my phone on mute. Sorry, I try to mute it when I'm, going to make some kind of background noise. I don't know, whatever. So I forgot. I'm sitting there talking to you guys, and I realized that I can't hear anything. So.
Well, when we go to something like that, I turn everybody down, so you don't have to worry about it.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
But you know what I think? I think that when you're an entertainer, yes, okay. Keep your mouth shut because you're not a politician. I can see where she's coming from because she's saying that, that's the sure way to get people pissed off at you and to lose followers and lose basically your paycheck. You know what I mean? But people like you and I, or, the regular people, I mean, we need to speak up and we need to voice our opinions and stuff. And yes, everybody does have, their own opinion, just like everybody has, like you said.
Yeah.
I think we're in a place and a time right now where just staying quiet isn't good enough.
No, and I agree with that.
It doesn't matter what side of the fence you're on, man. And I'm not going to get into that. You guys know where I stand. I think I'm on the left or center maybe, and I know you're towards the right. Which whatever, man. I think the bottom line is that we need to all take the time to actually search for facts.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's a big thing now.
Somebody tell you something and be like, "Oh yeah, hey, my buddy told me that whatever."
And so therefore, that must be it's almost like, well, I saw it on Facebook, and if it's on the internet, it's got to be true.
Right, or even the news, man. I'm not saying.
I don't think anybody necessarily needs to be left or right anymore. I think everybody needs to be topically centered. I think you need to find out what the issue is, and then you need to decide based on your own personal set of beliefs, your own personal set of surroundings, because everybody's different.
I need to find that video. I need to find that video where they went to a college campus and interviewed the college students that were speaking out against something or other. And they were asking, "Oh, well, who's the vice president?" I don't know. Oh, well. Right.
Oh, yeah. No, that's a huge thing, too.
Yeah. So the biggest part of the noise, the squeakiest wheel on the wagon is generated by people who really don't know the facts anyways.
Right. Yeah. Well, in those college kids' defense, okay, I mean, this administration fires people every week, so it's constantly changing. I mean, how are you supposed to know who's who, I mean, the vice president and the president, yes, but, somebody's getting fired weekly, right?
But when you ask them about social media or reality TV
that was a
stars,
joke, by the way.
Yeah. I know.
Do you have like a laugh track or something?
I don't. Well, wait a minute. I do. Wait a minute. Wait. I do have somewhere. Oh, I do have one.
There you go. Perfect.
Well, where's Muttley? Oh, here he is. I love Muttley.
Yeah, Muttley's perfect.
Muttley's great.
See, now you're dating yourself.
I know. Listen, I just want to put this up here. This is my phone ringing. From a gentleman who knows that I'm on the air every single day from 9 until 10. And every time he calls, it's at 9:28 on the Podgram.
The Podgram with Tom and Christy. Join the conversation. 855-PODGRAM.
As I said, 9:28 on the Podgram, and we're Tom and Christy, and Dano is joining us on the landline. Who has landlines anymore, right? And we're just talking about nothing, and we're having a good time doing it.
I do.
I do too.
Yeah,
I'm not a savage,
I was at my mom's. I went to see my mom yesterday. Was it yesterday, maybe? Sunday, in any case. So no, it wasn't yesterday. But I went to go see her, and she's sitting on her recliner. She's got her recliner she sits on. It's just like the Archie Bunker chair. There, I'm dating myself there with that one. And nobody's allowed in the Archie Bunker chair. So she's sitting there, and the cordless phone is sitting on the armrest, and her cell phone is sitting on the armrest. And my mom has a cell. My dad has a cell. Every time you call the landline, you get voicemail, answering machine. And so I asked her, I said, listen, why do you even have that? I mean, you have a cell phone in your pocket. See? He's blowing my phone up. Let's take the call on the air. Let's do that.
There we go.
Hi, Sam. How are you, buddy? Hello? Hello? Yeah, I guess he didn't. Helen Keller playing with the phone again.
He's pocket dialing.
I know. No, he's not. Yeah. I'll take him on the air if he calls back.
There we go.
I would normally not do that to people, but one of my biggest pet peeves.
At least it's not Phil.
Well, one of my biggest pet peeves. Look, I have caller ID on my cell phone. Okay, I know who calls me. I don't have voicemail on my cell phone because I don't want it. Because I'm not going to check it. I'm going to see you called, and I'm going to call you back. Right?
Yeah.
Right? But one of my pet peeves is, now my regular cell phone, because there's no voicemail, it will ring for 30 seconds. That's about 200 rings.
Yeah.
Before it times out. And you get boop, boop, boop afterwards. What drives me crazy is when somebody calls, it sits all the way through.
Mm-hmm.
And then my ringtone stops, so I know it timed out on them. And then it rings again. And the ringtone times out a second time. And then it's the third time. And I just want to snatch the phone and pick it up and say, what? Because sometimes, and follow me on this, I might be doing something.
Uh-huh.
Possibly. Maybe his hair's on fire.
Maybe I got two hands.
Maybe that's why when you answered and he didn't answer, maybe it was just too late.
Yeah. I might have my hands in a high voltage transmitter cabinet.
There you go.
And I'm not going to answer
You should keep your hands out of there, buddy.
I might be sleeping or trying to sleep. See, that was going to send me text messages. Here, let me respond to that text message.
If he says his hair is on fire, I'm gonna.
You guys talk amongst yourselves. Oh, I got a new voicemail.
Christy, how's it going over there?
New voicemail.
You look lovely today.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. Dead air. No, I'm sorry. So part of the reason that we brought up the Dolly Parton video was that she is choosing to keep her mouth shut and that she is choosing to stay out of the political arena. And the reason she's choosing to do that is important. I think that entertainers should be entertainers. And if you are a celebrity because you've chosen to take a political stance, like if you're a shock jock like Howard Stern, or help me out here, other talk jocks.
I'm sorry, I was composing it. Stop it! Okay, look. I've heard
It sounds like Morse code, actually.
Well, it is.
Is that what that is?
Yeah.
It is.
Oh, okay.
Apparently it's the letter K. I don't know, but I don't know Morse code. Put it on silent here. Notification.
Weren't you a Boy Scout?
No. I was an Indian guide. That's the generic Boy Scouts.
Well, I was a Boy Scout and I didn't learn it either, but it's in their book.
That's the Boy Scout. The Indian Guides is the Boy Scouts for boys whose parents don't want to pay for the Boy Scouts, and we don't care if he really learns anything.
Right.
We used to sit around in our headdresses, and I guess it's probably politically incorrect now. I guess they're not allowed to do that anymore.
No.
I don't know how that works.
I don't know.
But
Because
Christy
it's
had a valid
offensive.
point about the celebrities and stuff like that kind of get into the political thing. But if you think about it, our president is kind of a celebrity himself, is he not?
Well, but he crossed over that threshold when he got elected as president. Yeah, he's kind of a celebrity.
Reagan, too, though. Reagan was an actor.
Reagan was an actor, but back in the days when he was making movies, he wasn't doing political commentary and refusing to go into to perform because people didn't see things his way.
Oh, yeah.
But there's a big difference between
Rosie
Trump.
O'Donnell.
But there's a big difference between Trump in our modern day society and Ronald Reagan in his then modern day society. Because in his modern day society, actors were actors. They had a code of conduct. They had a responsibility. They dressed when they went out. They thought before they spoke. They worried about their reputation. They worried about how they were seen in public. They worried about how they were perceived in public. Whereas now, people do things for shock value. People do things
absolutely.
Intentionally.
When I was on the air and radio, it was clearly understood that if I went out and did something that embarrassed myself for the radio station, I was out of a job.
Yeah.
That day. No questions asked.
Right. Absolutely, because you're not representing yourself anymore. You're representing, the company.
The company,
you're
sure.
representing everything else. I mean, I think that's something that's lost on a lot of people these days, too, is that, especially with social media, everything else, just look, next time you're on Facebook and you're looking around and you see all these people ranting and saying, oh, it's just ugly, just hate speech or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Look at their profile, okay? And I guarantee you probably 7 out of 10 times you're going to see where they work, their employer.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
And what they don't understand is that, employers now are going on social media and looking and seeing, you know what I mean? I'm sure all they have to do is just click on their thing and see who works there.
That's your primary job interview. That's your first job interview is Facebook. Yeah.
Right.
And there's so much misinformation.
Exactly. So I like to, and this is, I'm a little vindictive, I guess, but so I like to, when I see that stuff, I say, oh man, I'm sure that your boss is at, and I always link the company there, and I say it would be love to see, your opinions, you know what I mean? It's really, whatever. So I always do that because I think it's ridiculous, man. Don't put the place you work on there if you're going to be what's the word I'm looking for?
That's why
we'll leave it at that.
That's one of the reasons I started doing this podcast, because I did a lot of writing and I wrote a lot of things on my Facebook page, and I started to come to the conclusion that the people on my friends list, some of them were clients and might not like my opinion, and so if they don't want to hear my opinion, well, those who want to hear it know where to find me.
Yes.
That's why I stopped doing that stuff on Facebook, because I started that was the whole point of starting this.
Yes. I made a whole separate Facebook account actually for my Masonic things because I'm involved in my community. I'm involved with the Masons, the kids group, stuff like that, and my political opinions and stuff like that. I don't need that getting between whatever else, because these days, everybody's, they're at your throat the second that you say, oh, hey, man, I miss Obama. Whatever. It's like, dude, hey, take it easy, guy. I'm sorry, I liked the guy. He had some class,
It's almost like when people come to me and say, that e-cigarette's going to kill you. It's like, yeah.
Right.
Whatever.
You should blow that right in their face when they say that to you. But I don't know, man. We all need to kind of realize that we're all in this together, you know what I mean?
We are all part of a big community and fighting amongst the neighbors.
Everybody picks a side, and people pick a side, and it's like the Republican Democrat thing, right? Like automatically, if I disagree with the president or whatever, I'm a liberal. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's not true, man. Because
why do we have to label?
I love guns. There's so many things that I'm really towards the right with.
Yeah, you can't have everything out of one box. You got to have, and
exactly.
I was watching last night. I was watching Blackish on Hulu. Have you seen the show?
No, I haven't.
It's funny. It is.
It's hilarious.
What's funny about it is it's a show about black people, black family. Okay.
Right.
And so, but they poke fun at black culture quite frequently. Like they've got Black Jesus, like his mother, the main character's mother kind of lives in the house, and she's got a picture of Black Jesus up, and Black Jesus, and and it's funny because they make fun of a lot of the cultural things that that are real, And last night it was like one of the kids was following grandma around with a tablet, taking a test on which president. This was of course it's Hulu, so it wasn't new, but this is right at the end of the Obama administration when the elections were going on, and so the show topic was that, and it's like they showed some footage of Obama that the main character had put together in like a little video thing with like, I don't know, the Beatles yesterday or some sad, sappy thing, for Obama, whatever. And then so the kid was following around grandma who says, you just vote Democrat. That's all that matters. You just vote Democrat. And the kid's like, well, and the kid's asking like multiple choice questions. Well, would you like to have this, that, the other thing? And yeah, I want this. And everything that she was saying she wanted was of a conservative view. And at the end of the test on the tablet, she says, the kid says, Grandma, this here says you should vote for Donald Trump. As a matter of fact, this here says you are Donald Trump. It was funny.
That's awesome.
It was funny. But that again, that kind of leads back. There's truth. I mean, art imitates life, and there's truth in the fact that some people just have the belief structure that this is what I have to vote for. This is who I believe in. But then when you dig down into it, it's like, well, now wait a minute. And then the kid with the tablet comes around and says, no, everything that you're voting for is against what you want.
People have to realize that if you do what you've always done, you get what you've always got.
Yeah, absolutely.
I like
that's
that.
A perfect way to put that, man. That's awesome. That's a super old saying too, and it makes complete sense. I mean, really.
Yes. And what's the other? I think that. What's the other one? Is insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results each time? Yeah.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the same. I mean, you could even say, it's always been that way. That saying, or like, you know what I mean? Like any of that stuff, man. It's just how it's always been. I mean, you can't, change can't happen when we're all sitting around, just with our blinders on. So.
Yeah, Mike Owens is in the live Facebook chat, and he says, wave at the camera. Hi, Mike, how are you? So, Christy, let's wave at the camera for Mike Owens. Woohoo! Dano's waving, but you can't see him.
I am waving.
We don't have the video phone yet.
Yes.
I'm doing that clean wave.
Right, that Christy did at the top of the show, yeah. Right.
Yeah.
There's about a 15 to 20 second delay between live and what you see on Facebook.
Yeah.
So just so you guys in the room know, that's how that works out. Yeah. See, Christy's just now waving on Facebook, and it's been. See,
now if you want to pick a fight, try to take guns away from Gina Jeffrey.
Is she a gun girl?
She's a big gun girl. She is NRA member. I think probably
gives Christmas cards, the whole nine.
Gun toting, boot wearing. I mean,
got a 6 gun on her side. Eh?
She's a badass. She and her sister, I mean, like probably could be competition shooters. I mean, they're very proficient with their weapons. They're very knowledgeable. They've taken all of the courses. I mean, I think her sister was an instructor for a while.
Yeah.
So
I wouldn't mind getting into that rimfire competitions with the 22 pistols and stuff. That's pretty cool.
But you don't talk about taking away guns. You don't talk about gun control. You don't talk about that type of thing with certain people, because then the Republicans get mad or the conservatives get upset, or, you say one word to somebody and it just makes all the hair on the back of their neck stand up, and then you instantly get them inflamed, and then that's where the conversation shuts down.
I don't think, if we were to tighten up, we do. If we were to tighten up the rules a little bit about how to get a firearm, if there was more background check, I don't think anybody would have a problem with that. But
no, I think the mental health checks is what's the most important.
Yeah, but I think people really get their panties in a bunch when they're talking about, well, let's take them away because people are getting hurt by them. But look, people are getting hurt by motor vehicle accidents, butter knives, all these different things.
Oh, absolutely.
We can't take all that away.
There should be more training.
Yeah.
That's the problem. I mean, New York State, you don't have to. I mean, yeah, sure, it's hard to get a pistol permit in New York State, but there's no live fire training. There's no, you take a safety course. The instructor knows you paid $50. He's going to make sure you pass the test. You know what I mean? That's honestly how it works. You know? And
sure,
everybody who says it doesn't is a liar.
It's not a perfect system. It's not a perfect system.
No.
Right.
But like when you go to the car dealership to buy a new car, all they really care is that you have the income, the debt to income ratio where you can pay for the car and the credit rating. They don't care that maybe you drive on the sidewalk and run over a little. I mean, they don't.
They don't care.
Fred Ray's in the room. Appreciate you joining. I caught him as soon as he came in. Fred Ray. Yeah, he's my buddy from the fire department, and he's here in Hazard County with me, and what a cool dude he is. But I think the problem is that you can't take everything away that could hurt somebody. Because there was that story about the kid who killed his parents with a butter knife. I mean, come on, are we going to empty our drawers? How do you spread the cream cheese on the bagel if you take that away? Guns, and the big argument is this: guns don't kill people; people kill people, and that's the truth. Because if
in
someone
the
wants
UK, they banned a bunch of guns and stuff, and now they have a big problem with stabbings. So, I mean, so much so that I'm dead serious, and it's so much that they actually have bins on corners and stuff like that where you can deposit knives. You know what I mean? It's pretty crazy. Just like Gina, she just mentioned it in London, for example. So, I mean, she's 100% right on that. So. Well,
Dan, why are you on my show? You need your own. You're doing good at this.
Oh, hey, sorry about that.
No, it's good. It's good, guys.
It's great.
He's on top of it. Dano's on top of everything, and but you're right. I mean, just because somebody gets hurt doing something, let's take away bicycles because kids get hurt on bicycles.
Assault weapons.
What is an assault weapon?
I don't understand why we need assault weapons. I mean, we don't need them for hunting.
But they're not. I mean, the thing is, though, it's an AR-15, okay, or 223 or whatever like that. It's just really it's a sporting rifle. I mean, that's what it was designed to be.
And AR does not stand for assault rifle, by the way.
Right, it doesn't. It's an Armalite rifle is what it stands for.
Why do we need anything that can rapidly spray bullets?
Well, because I'll tell you right now, people that hunt with rifles and stuff like that, if you get a semi-auto, not a bolt-action rifle and stuff like that, they're all. I mean, you think about a lot of these hunting rifles way more powerful than an AR-15. Way more powerful.
Yeah.
Well,
and they accept magazines just like an AR does too. The only difference is the look of it.
It looks scary.
Yeah, I mean, people love ARs because they can put all the little bells and whistles. You can put flashlights on them. You can put anything. You can put so many accessories on this thing. It's awesome. It's like getting a pickup truck, and you can put new big lights on it. Or
ladder racks and brush guards, and
people are into that.
But Dan, why do we need something that can spray bullets?
It can't.
It can't.
It can't.
No, not those. But I mean, the types of weapons. Why do we need those in this country?
Nobody's allowed to have automatic weapons.
Fully automatic weapons, okay? And I think people get really confused on what semi-automatic means. And what automatic means, because a lot of people misspeak when they say, automatic weapons. They're not automatic weapons. They're semi-automatic, which means that they're only going to throw out as many bullets as fast as you can pull the trigger with your fingers.
But Dateline did an entire segment did like a 2-night special. The chick on Dateline who could barely open a jar of pickles turned a weapon from an semi-automatic to an automatic because she watched a YouTube video.
Well, but see, the other thing is...
anybody's... Go ahead, Tom. I'm sorry.
Let me throw this out there, because now there's a guy on YouTube that is for people who can't legally obtain guns. He shows you how to make one on a 3D printer.
Right, and you can do that now, too.
You're not gonna stop the people who want to break the law from breaking the law.
Right.
John Malkovich showed us how to do one, didn't he? With the plastic gun, when it was the movie with Clint Eastwood where he was the guy who protected Kennedy, and then he had to wind up protecting him again, but he snuck in a weapon and wound up using a plastic gun and plastic bullets.
Well,
right. I mean, they make guns like that are totally undetectable.
Yes,
completely.
As far as like metal detectors and stuff like that. I mean, obviously, I think I would think anyway that the bullets
would show up somehow.
Right,
it's not
going
to matter how tightly you crack it down. People are still going to get them in because I'm sorry, I've never seen a heroin dealer who makes $4 billion a year go, that's it. Trump says no.
Well, and that's the other side of this. That's the other side of this argument is when you talk about gun control, you're talking about legal gun owners, law-abiding citizens. You're not talking about the criminals who are printing up 3D guns and who are making this. You're not talking these like meth. You can't make meth. We've already got a law for that, and the law-abiding people don't make meth. But the people who want to break the law, you see now a criminal has his 3D printed gun. He's walking up to the credit union and sees a sign on the window that says "No guns." He's already made the determination that he's going to go in there and rob the place. He's already decided that. That sign, all that sign is doing is keeping the law-abiding people from taking their guns in there. Right. And so now this guy who made his off of a YouTube video goes in there and absolutely has a run of the place. Nobody has any protection now. So, when you talk about gun control, you're 100% talking about affecting the law-abiding citizens who aren't going to go in there and shoot you up anyways.
Exactly, and now they have no way to. Not everybody can fight. Not everybody can whatever else. If somebody comes into their house, they're not going to be able to fight them off and stuff like that. I feel that everybody should be able to have a firearm or a way to defend themselves and their families, and especially on their own property.
Yeah.
Phil and I would love to have guns, but we have a spastic 13-year-old that I sometimes fear having butter knives with.
And you're a responsible parent then. You get what I'm saying? That's what we're lacking. It's not. So these kids that go in, and I'm not going to pretend to know the details on all these school shootings and all these other things and stuff and how the people got the guns and stuff like that. But I know that at least in a couple instances, they got their parents' guns or whatever else, okay? Now, we start holding these parents responsible for their kids taking their things, you know what I mean, and charging them. You know what I mean? With the crime and everything like that. And, I'm not saying a zero tolerance thing, but whatever. Then people are going to start locking up their guns. They're going to start being more responsible with them. And they're going to start making sure that they are kept out of the hands of their kids or whatever else. You know what I mean? The problem is that people are just like, oh, you know what? My kid would never take my gun. There's a lot of people like that.
Oh, yeah.
My kid knows.
Holding the parents responsible.
Right.
Holding the parents responsible for the decline in their child's mental health
people
status.
People don't parent anymore.
Get to that point.
Participation trophies
when they start being held legally responsible.
A lot of these kids, you can watch the train wreck of their mental health status. Somewhere along the line, they got to a point where someone should have intervened. Someone should have paid attention.
I got a perfect example of this. I'm not going to say who this lady is, but her teenage daughter, who was unlicensed, and her boyfriend used to steal the minivan at night and go cruising around. And they were driving around a university campus, and they ran into a professor with it, enough so to dent the fender.
Oops.
Guess who was held responsible for that? The van owner was held responsible for it because as a van owner, you're responsible to put the keys somewhere that the adolescents aren't going to find them. Same thing applies to guns. If you're going to have guns in your home, you have the responsibility, the obligation to keep it away from your children.
Right.
It's
in New
called
York
parenting.
State, the rule is if your gun is stolen, anything like that, you lose your permit, man, period.
Yeah.
Because you didn't keep that gun safely secured, so it should be on the gun owner, period.
Yeah.
Both of my kids
unless
know.
It's a case where somebody breaks into your house, steals a gun, and takes off or whatever. You know what I mean? There's not much you can do there, but
both of my kids know I own their asses.
Yeah.
I own every single bit, piece, and part of them.
Yeah.
And no matter what they do, I am responsible for them. And unless and until they are financially, legally on the hook for themselves, they don't blink or fart without my permission.
Yeah. I want to go back.
It.
I want to go back to the discussion about why some guns would be considered okay and some guns would not. And Gina says we were talking about assault weapons. Gina says there are no assault weapons. That is true. That is a media invention to make rifles that look scary. But here's the question. If you get shot with a little Derringer and you get shot with something that looks like a scary military rifle, you're going to die either way.
Oh, yeah, you're going to be just as dead.
What's the difference?
There is no difference.
I mean,
There is
there's
no
still
difference.
murder.
The only difference comes when they get bump stocks and things like that, because that's what they're going to do. They're always going to find a way. You know, people are gun nuts, man. With anything, it's like car nuts, man. They're always going to find a way to make your car faster.
Yeah.
You
yeah.
can't tell me that
And it's
there's
the same
no
thing with
murder
guns.
in England. Guns are banished in England, but you can't tell me that there's no murder. If
No,
you
because
want to
they're
kill
having
somebody,
stabbings.
they're
No, because
still
if,
going to find
if
a
somebody
way.
wants to kill somebody, they're going to find a way to do it. The guns just happen to be, if I got a gun, it's just a convenient way to kill this dude. But if I don't
You
have
can't
it,
legislate intent.
well, that's right. That's right. That's right.
Yep, you can't.
I just came up with that on my own. I sound smart, don't I, Tom?
Yeah, you do. I like that. I like that. We'll have we'll make sure Christy delivers your Girl Scout cookies now.
We need to get
yeah.
Gina.
I did get those.
Oh, did you?
It was awesome. Oh, they were so good.
We do need to get Gina on the phone because she sounds like somebody who would just rip somebody's ass wide open about the gun thing.
And we need to get her sister Carol
Yeah.
on,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
because Carol will go toe to toe.
Yeah. See, that's awesome. This is the kind of stuff I like to talk about because
Serious.
everybody has an opinion and half the. But okay, let me step up. Let me step away for a second. The problem we have in this country, the major problem that we have in this country, is the lack of parenting. It's participation trophies. It's
Absolutely.
everybody's a winner, nobody's a loser. I remember when Emily played t-ball for the first year, they didn't keep score. When she played, when Travis played basketball the first year, they didn't keep score. Oh, the parents did. Oh, hell yeah, they did. The parents kept score, but the coaches and the teams, because nobody wins and nobody loses, and that is the wrong attitude to teach your children, because then they're going to go through life.
Make my kid's sad.
Yeah,
He's not going to be a loser.
Yeah,
well,
this is
your
why.
kid's a loser. I mean, what do you want me to say?
The biggest kudo I think I have ever got, the biggest accolade I think I've ever gotten in my entire life was the other day my son said to me, you know, that next year it's going to be so much harder, Mom, because I have to do Regents exams, which in New York, we do Regents exams.
Yeah.
Are you familiar with those, Tom?
No, I'm not.
It's like a special form of diploma where you can have non-regents or regents, and if you have regents, it's like a little more higher.
It's a little more challenging, the courses and all that, I think, right? Or no?
It's like honors versus
You're held to a higher
non-honors.
standard, maybe. You have to have a certain grade level or something. I don't know, man. I'm from here, and I don't even get it.
Is it like advanced type classes or something? Is it, because here they have it like AIG.
Kind of.
Well,
so
kind of. I think it's more of a grade thing, though, right?
I don't know, but anyway, they have
Regents
Regents
exams. She
exams.
doesn't even know.
I don't know.
We don't know. We're here for an hour every day. What do we know?
So
we don't know nothing.
they have the Regents exams, and he said, well, next year it's going to get harder because I have to take Regents testing. And I said, well, now you understand. And he said, and I said something about the STAR testing or the Common Core testing. And he's like, well, and I wanted to say thank you because now I understand why you never opted me out of those.
Yeah.
And I said, yeah, because life's hard and it sucks.
Yeah.
And I've never allowed you to slide on stuff because if I did, I would not have been doing you a service.
Yeah, because now parents just let their kids, and it's like I talked to a teacher. A teacher doesn't dare call a parent and say your kid's doing something wrong because then the wrath of hell opens up on them. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a teacher.
They were
what are we
very.
paying you for?
Yeah, they were very refreshed when I went up there and said, well, I'll bust my kid's ass. I don't care if they're doing something wrong.
But I was so proud of my son for saying, Mom, thank you.
Yeah.
I get it now.
Yeah.
Because now I feel like I'm better prepared.
Yeah.
Because I have taken these kinds of big tests before. Because in 8th grade, had he never had to do this, it would have been like hitting a brick wall at 60.
Yeah.
It'd be, what? I have to take these big, massive tests? What?
Yeah, that's right. That's right. So we need to focus on parenting people, and this is what's been dropped from the parental curriculum, risk and reward. Yeah. Reward and punishment. That's been dropped. There is no reward for doing good. There is no punishment for doing bad. Everybody's equal. Everybody's feelings matter. Listen, when I was a kid, you fell off the bike, you got back on it. Steven's trying to learn how to ride a bike right now. It's so funny because he can't really do it, and he gets off and he starts blaming the bicycle. Told me the bicycle was being rude. I got to tell you this in the last few seconds we have here. And Dano, when the show ends, don't hang up because we keep talking off here.
The timeout era is the problem. Go ahead.
Yeah. So what happened is Melanie gave him a hamburger the other night, and it fell apart, and he slammed it down on the table, and he was crying and screaming about it. And I said, what's the matter? He says, my hamburger's being rude. You know, so we had to kind of explain that, no, operator error really was to blame on that one. So, all right, well, that is our show for today. We certainly appreciate you hanging out with us. Love to have you join us again tomorrow right here on the Podgram Live. You can also catch us on TuneIn 24/7 and watch us on YouTube and, Facebook. Have a great day, everybody.
The Podgram, copyright 2018, Big Tower Media. So don't be stealing our stuff.